Kia ora, g'day, I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast through until Sunday, and severe gales. They are dominating the southern part of Australia, while warmer weather and hotter weather is moving into the north. Let's have a look and see what's going on with the animated wind map today. The gale force weather is mostly to the south of Australia, but that northwesterly flow capturing the southwestern corner of Western Australia and then brushing the southern coastlines, really turning more westerly as it comes into parts of coastal Victoria and Tasmania. But I gotta say, Tasmania, you're probably going to be the main feature of today's weather video because of how much severe weather is down in the Southern Ocean, well off the screen here and blasting past you. Further up the country, you've still got the east to southeasterly flow, nothing too big going on up there. And so please don't be offended if I'm not talking much about you, because there's not a lot happening sort of in the middle part of Australia over the next week. Here's how we kick off Tuesday. So we've still got the showers in the southwestern corner of Western Australia. It won't be much, just a few millimetres in there. But really what you see here from about roughly Adelaide eastwards is that windy west to northwest wind, and it really cranks up around Bass Strait going into Tasmania, severe gales around Tasmania. In fact, winds could be damaging off and on around Tasmania for the next week, so just be aware of that. Keep up to date with the Bureau warnings. And then you can see those windy conditions moving in across Victoria and then sort of fading out as you go into New South Wales, the ACT, and so windy weather not really a thing as you go up towards Queensland. Very north, you've got a few showers coming through for you, and the humidity and the heat starting to sink a little further down. The humidity obviously comes out of it when it's over the desert, but you start to see that much hotter airflow dropping furthest to the south, and so you'll start to feel that in that northwesterly flow. By Wednesday, some of that warmth sort of moves a little further to the east. We've got a westerly flow coming through from places like Brisbane down to Sydney and then down towards Melbourne. Now, once you're in Melbourne and south of Melbourne, a much colder airflow coming from south of Australia. So windy, severe gales, heavy rain over on the west coast of Tasmania, some rain spilling over to the east, so that'll be good news for the farmers and growers there who want some rain. Around Victoria and South Australia, not a lot of rain, I'm sorry to say, for those who want it. And you've got the windy conditions carrying on from the west. Heaviest rain will be right on the very southern coastline of Victoria, but really the rest of the continent doesn't see very much in the way of rain, but a few more showers for coastal Queensland. By Thursday, feeling the heat if you're in Central Australia, if you're in Alice Springs. Hello to my brother who's there at the moment. And around down to Ayers Rock, Uluru. Those areas are going to be pretty hot as you start to see this airflow coming back from the north. The red line here, which measures air thickness, tropical airflow, that starts to drop all the way down. It almost gets to the coastline here in the very south. It basically does. So you'll feel that warmth around Adelaide down towards Victoria. But if you're over in if you're down in Tasmania, cloudy weather, windy weather, that carries on. Let's go to Friday. High pressure is way out over here in the Indian Ocean, stretches out a little bit into Western Australia. But as a result of that high pressure zone pushing in, it encourages the cooler airflow to come through. So still plenty of showers along that very coastal southern part of Western Australia. Otherwise it is dry. It is dry for the Northern Territory, dry for most of South Australia, although a few showers from Adelaide to Kangaroo Island and then down towards around about Mount Gambier, you'll see a few showers and a few showers coming into Victoria. It won't be much. I would say the ACT is looking dry, but look at Tasmania caught up in this very windy weather. Now this big picture map shows that low pressure zone down to 930 hectopascals. For those of you in Queensland or Western Australia and the Northern Territory, you'd normally see that kind of air pressure with a major tropical cyclone. So this is down south of us, but Tasmania is in the windy part of it and the wet, cold part. So there could be rain, snow, gales, you name it, on Friday around Tasmania. And that severe weather carries on towards New Zealand. But if you're in Lord Howe Island or Norfolk Island, won't be too much going on for you. Maybe a little bit breezy at times. So Saturday, the weekend, another surge of gale force winds coming in from about Kangaroo Island down to coastal parts of Victoria and certainly for Tasmania. And that high pressure zone out to the west over the Indian Ocean still encouraging southwesterlies into that corner. So that's why you've still got a few showers. Again, it's not very much. And to the north here, a bit of a northerly flow coming down into Queensland pushes that red line further down. So some of you will start to feel a little more warmth as a result of that setup there on Saturday. And here's Sunday's view, a little bit closer up. You can still see a bit of a northerly flow coming down here towards about Brisbane and into the northern part of New South Wales. So that will just be slightly warmer and hotter than the airflow further down, which is coming from south of Australia and coming in. So they're both sort of merging here over parts of New South Wales. A couple of showers for Canberra, a couple of showers around Victoria and South Australia, but the rain carries on for the western side of Tasmania. So there we go. That is the forecast through until Sunday. Tasmania really is in the thick of it all, but parts of Victoria, parts of South Australia also caught up in some of that severe weather risk over the next week. I'll be back again later this week, probably not on Thursday. Normally Thursday is our recording day, but this week it looks as though we might be on a Friday just because we've got other things going on. We're a small business. Believe it or not, our videos are actually sort of crammed in between meetings and other clients that we look after. So we don't spend all day sitting around with the luxury of making these. We sometimes have a very short window, which explains why sometimes my shirt's not as ironed as it could be and the lighting's not as perfect as it could be. That is all from me. I'll be back again for you later this week, probably on Friday.